Derpy takes days off like you want days off. You know how you
Exactly.
you
You
go
know,
on and say I work you like a slave and this and that, and this is that the actual schedule of Derpy
right?
is what you desire.
It is too, man. He just calls in like, yeah, hey guys, I'm not in today.
Yeah,
Must be nice having unlimited personal days.
yeah. We're gonna have to strip his personal days.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to, when his contract comes up again,
Oh, there's gonna be major negotiations going on.
when we actually pay him, his
Yeah,
personal days are gone.
yes. Speaking of Derpy, check out this number. Forbes predicts Taylor Swift's Eras tour will generate $4.6 billion for the
Ooh,
United States economy.
dang.
One person.
That that's like more than some states combined, like
Yeah.
a lot of states.
I think how much
That's
I have potential of earning, and then I think how much she has potential of earning. I can't even believe we're the same species.
that's wild.
I'm like I'm
Wild.
like bacteria on Mars compared to her.
That's insane. But
Mm,
hey, I wonder, like, it's going to produce what, like 4 billion for like the economy. I wonder what she's getting.
yeah,
God
that's
dang,
insane. That's
that's
crazy,
insane.
and
That's
I don't get it. You know,
well, you figure, like
and I get it. I mean, I
she was in
understand that,
Pittsburgh for two
people like who
days.
people like.
Yeah,
I just, I don't get what it is about her. There's nothing about her that stands out. I mean, she's a good looking person, but there's like, you walk out the door and there's good looking people.
yeah.
You
I,
know,
I
what
I
is it
don't
about
get it.
her that can
I don't.
generate $4.6 billion?
I said, like, kind of like I say about the Beatles. I don't get the Beatles. I don't get Taylor Swift, but people seem to just like they're fanatical about both. And my God, the Beatles are dead, but what, one or two, and they're still making money off of,
Yeah, they're still making way more money than we are.
yeah. So she'll be making way more money than she's gonna be making money like them even after she's dead. They're gonna be her estate's gonna be making money.
Yeah,
Hey, more power to her. I'm not knocking it. I don't understand it. She's not my cup of tea. She's not my
they
type of
figured it
music.
out, man.
But hey, go for it, man. Go for it.
They figured it out.
But you figure that she was in town for what, in Pittsburgh for 2 days, and the amount of people that flooded the area and all the businesses around it. So multiply that by how many cities she's going to. Yeah, it's going to pump a lot of money into a lot of areas.
You figure, I mean, she isn't even, when I I don't know where her tour goes, but she hasn't even hit any big city. She just started in Pittsburgh. I mean, she hasn't done a
Yeah,
Chicago, a Los Angeles, a
yeah.
New York. I mean, the money she would make there would be,
Oh yeah,
you think,
because Pittsburgh. Yeah, because
astronomical.
like you said, Pittsburgh is not a big city.
No,
Like to us it is, but my God, it's like nothing compared to, like you're saying, like New York, LA. Like, oh, she'd be making bank there. This
welcome
is
to the two Dum Yinzers, everybody. This is episode 342.
for our
Derpy
fifth day in a row talking Taylor Swift.
Derpy is on sabbatical. I dug up this information for him, and he needed the day off. I'm sure it's an emergency. But anyway,
I need a day off.
we have Mike. And, the only reason I'm going to talk about the Pirates first is because of Henry Davis. I have other things here.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
if Henry Davis wasn't in the lineup last night and didn't get called up, I would go directly to that stuff because
yeah,
you know what? I'm this close to being so freaking done with this team. They're so bad. This Pirates team is so bad.
they're terrible.
Like, I don't even know it's at least a 7-game losing streak. It could be more. I don't even know. I listen to the standings, would you? The
I'm
Reds are
listening.
now in first place. The Brewers are a half game back. The Pirates are 3 games back. The Cubs are 3.5 back. And the Cardinals are 8 games back. The Reds beat the Rockies. The Brewers lost to the Diamondbacks. The Cardinals lost to the Nationals. Of course, the Pirates and Cubs played one another. I can't imagine that this is going to get better anytime soon. I think
No,
I was premature on the call. I believe, is the free fall. This is going to be the fall. Mike, they had 9 games. 3 against the Cubs, 3 against the Brewers, and 3
mm-hmm.
against the Cubs. And you hope that you could use those 9 games to create a little space for yourself because they were in first place at the beginning of that schedule.
Yeah,
Mike, they lost 7 in a row out of those 9.
I know.
It's not even like they're not putting up a fight. They lost 8-0 last night against the Cubs.
Yeah, like stuff I'm reading online. Fans are like, "Have you seen a more uninterested group of players in any sport right now than the 9 that are being trotted out night after night?" And it's a farce. It's a joke, man. It's like the lineups that are being put out there. Like, I know we're probably going to get to it, but you call up your first overall draft pick, who's a catcher, and you have him playing right field. You're keeping Austin Hedges in the lineup. So for what? For pitch framing?
I think in all honesty,
60 of 68 runners have successfully stolen bases against the Pirates. He's supposed to be a defensive expert. Of what? He's leading the majors in catcher's interference. This guy, he's not the whole reason the Pirates suck, but he is like the epitome of why this team is bad. It's unfair to the guy. He is what he is. Like, and all the fans acting like he's the full reason they're losing. It's not just him, but he's a symptom of what is wrong with the team.
I think in their defense, it was game 1. Maybe get him up, get his feet wet, put him in right field. Let's see what they do tonight. Let's see what they do tomorrow. That's what I thought that at first too.
It's kind of weird. It'd be like putting Kenny Pickett in at halfback.
No, you're right. But as I said, I said let's watch. Let's see tonight what they do. Let's see what they do tomorrow. And then, like I said, he does play right field. He plays DH and he plays catcher. So having him in right field isn't the most outlandish thing. You're making a valid point. I mean, these catchers are terrible. 60 for 68 has successfully stolen bases on the catchers that we have. And you said Austin Hedges leads the league in catcher interference. I mean, there's a lot of bad things going on behind the plate, but also in reality, we do have Andy Rodriguez, who also plays catcher, who I think that he's going to be up sooner than later. I do think that, like I said, they're probably getting his feet wet. They wanted to get him in the major league game. The kid seems like a professional. I think he's going to be fine wherever they put him. And they just said that, they want to kind of work him into the catcher position because, the balls look a lot different in the majors coming in than they do in the minors. So I'm not holding that against them yet, which we will eventually.
It's just like you're keeping Austin Hedges in the lineup. You're removing, like, you're going to take out Connor Joe, or you're going to take out McCutchen. 2 people who have better bats, but more offense than Austin Hedges.
Yeah.
Like, pitch framing's a big deal. Like, the pitchers trust them, but if they're not, no one's doing well anyway outside of Mitch Keller. Okay. Yeah. So if he's like someone said on Twitter, like, if Hedges isn't going to get credit for when the pitchers do well, why doesn't he get the blame when they do bad? So it's a double-edged sword with the guy. He's not good at all, offensively, defensively. If you're going to, dig down deep into like all the advanced stats to find 4 that justify him being in the lineup, at that point, you're just trying to find justifications to have him in the lineup. Realistically, he's like a 172 hitter. That guy's adding nothing to this lineup,
which I think is lower than his career average. He's like a 182, and he's got 172.
Yeah, like, when you're struggling to produce runs, don't you think you would have your best offensive players in there? Defense be damned. I'm trying to score runs. It makes absolute no sense to me. It's like, I'm not a big baseball guy, especially when it comes to advanced stats. But at least like the eye test in all sports, if you watch enough sports, you can tell like who's good, who's not. He's not good. He's not good.
No, I mean, the defense all around is bad right now. Mike, I got to say, there was a play during the game where we had a perfect situation to get out of an inning. There was 1 out, runner on first base. A ball hit the second base. Castro chucks it into the outfield, going for a double play.
Yeah.
I mean, just top to bottom right now, this team is just so out of it. They're so far. Let me put it to you this way. Let's call it March. Let's say March. If we would have said getting ready to go into July, the Pirates would be 34 and 37. Most people would be excited. Oh, wow, this team is 3 games under 500. They're only 3 games out of first place. This is good. But the fact that we know what led to this point is the total opposite of that. Yeah. You see the 2 different worlds that would. Yeah. It don't make sense. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But here's like another. the Reds are what they were supposed to be like 2 to 3 years behind the Pirates in their rebuild, and look at them. They call guys up, they put them where they know how to play, and look, they're producing, they're winning. Yes, it's in the short term right now, but it's working. It's working, and we can't do this. It's frustrating as a Pittsburgh fan.
You would like to think that these call ups would have the same effect on the Pirates than they do with the Reds, let's say.
Or just make smart roster moves.
Because I'm not convinced that the Reds are going to run away with this. I'm not convinced the
they're
Brewers
not,
are going to run away with this. I'm not convinced that the Cubs. You just don't know. This division is such a cluster right now. You have no idea who's going to who. You know, people could have been saying that about us 6 weeks ago. They could have been saying, "Man, look how far ahead these guys are. They're just winning. They're winning. They're winning." And you know, I guess it does take a derby to say it is a 162 game, and I forget that, and I realize I probably put too much stock into every single game for a season. It's 162, but it's not looking good, Mike. I mean, this is where we wanted to be at this point in the season, but we wanted to be heading the other direction.
Yeah, but when it's the same things happening game in, game out, you know, that's you know, it gets frustrating to see the same fielding mistakes, the same hitting mistakes, same pitching mistakes, the same managerial mistakes over and over and over again. So yeah, every game is just a microcosm what has gone wrong this season.
You know, there's a trend.
Yeah,
like there's a trend with these Cubs, and this is something went back to the 3 games last week. They don't score any runs, or very, very few runs, until they get to about the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning. When they get to one of those 3, 4 innings, they go on a tear and put up about 5 runs. This happened, and I don't have it in front of me, but it seems like every single one of these games that we just played with the Cubs in the past 10 days has been the same exact way. You just get to a certain point in the game, and they just single the shit out of us. Single, blooper, you know, right? Every game. I mean, if there's a way to figure out how to stop that, I don't know what it is. They're just it's been the same game every time we played them. I mean, you know, how at this point, you know how it's going to be. You just got to figure out how to stop it now.
But they can't. They can't. The players can't. The manager sure as hell can't figure anything out.
We're hurting the bullpen. We got three names that are you see how regularly they're hurt. Bido goes out last night, throws 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, has 7 Ks. Now this kid's nice. He got nice control. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he's more like what I've been reading, more suited to be like he's going to end up being like a long reliever. But right now, the way the roster is, they're counting on him to go out there and be a starting pitcher, and another guy out of position.
Let's see. Big Stacks had 1 hit and 2 walks, no RBIs, no runs.
To lead the team. Way to lead the team.
Yeah.
Pretty soon he's going to be like
nothing loss.
Pretty soon he's going to go to the Jason Kendall route and just tell people welcome to hell.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy how that always ends up that way here?
It is.
No runs, no RBIs, and an 8-0 loss to a team that's 4 games under 500. All right. Well, Henry Davis. Now, you know, he comes in. Again, he's professional. He looks, you know, he belongs up.
Yeah.
He gets a double in his very first at bat. Impressive. Okay, we got our guy up. Now, what are we gonna do? Okay, it was almost like that was the pinnacle. That was the top of the roller coaster was his at bat, because after that, the whole rest of the game just went to shit. You know, the whole team. I mean, it was his first at bat in his first game. It was his first hit. He gets a double. He goes 1 for 3 with the walk. Again, I don't put any blame on him. I thought that was successful.
He did what he needed to do. He had one of the better bat. He was the most successful Pirate at the plate.
And a lot of these other guys, it's almost like they sit back and go, "Oh, it's okay. All right. Henry Davis is here now. Let him try to help us." And you know, what about you? You got to do something. You can't chuck the ball into the outfield on a double play, or they're so bad.
Hey, Austin Hedges, he really stepped it up. He was 0 for 2.
Yeah.
You know, both of our catchers, both of them delay. He was 0 for 0, so he didn't have an official at bat. But you know, between 2 catchers, they had 0 hits.
What they did was they pinch hit to get Austin Hedges the hell out of there, and then delay had to come in and play, and I don't think he batted.
Yeah, it's just comical. You sit your better hitters for this guy. I don't I don't get it. I don't get the love affair of Austin Hedges.
Game 2 tonight, 7:05. It's going to be Oviedo coming in with a 3-6 record with a 4.40 ERA and 71 strikeouts. But get this, we're going up again, Marcus Stroman. We're not going to come on, man. So this is going to put us behind the. This is going to put us in fourth. If we lose this game to Marcus Stroman tonight, which is a very good possibility,
Yeah,
just going off of the information that we have, we will be in fourth place by the end of this day. Only ahead of the Cubs. Only 4 games ahead of the Cubs.
oh God,
I'm sorry, the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the lowly.
The Cardinals. Yeah, and by the
We-
time like this series is over with the Cubs, it might be what, a game, 2 games. Yeah, this is great. I love it.
One
This is
good
actually
note
kind of depressing yet funny at the same time.
before we move on. One good note: Carlos Santana did hit his 350th double
I
of the
saw
season
that
the other night, which is makes him the 21st Dominican player to hit 350 doubles in his career. Congratulations, big guy. Did you know? I didn't know this. I didn't, because he was always in the American League. Did you know he started out as the catcher? Carlos
Yeah.
Santana was the catcher.
Actually, no, I did not know.
I
that.
didn't either. When I think, I'm like, well, did I? I don't recall, but yeah,
Like I started to say, yeah, but no, I don't remember him being a catcher.
I like him. Let's talk some football. Football.
From football.
The Steelers sign now. This is interesting to me with this sign of Nick Kwiatkowski from Bethel Park and the West Virginia grad, of course, a linebacker. What's interesting about this to me, Mike? Now let me, and I'm sure you saw this on the Twitter feed, but let me put it out there for the people listening. So our linebacker room last year was Miles Jack, Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, Mark Robinson, Marcus Allen. So we come in and do a complete overhaul, and our linebacker room is this now: Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, Nick Kwiatkowski, Tanner Muse, and Mark Robinson. How much further along, if any, do you feel that we are now at our inside linebacker position than we were last year? And let me point out the pink elephant in the room before you even continue. This is against my own color, so I'm just going to say it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you have 3 white guys in your
Right.
linebacking core, I don't think that's good. I mean, come on, let's be honest. We see the athleticism and how it plays out in sports. Do you think that we're better off now with this core of linebackers? And I have never seen Kwiatkowski. I've never seen Tanner Muse play. Matter of fact, I have never seen most of these guys play or paid attention to them enough to know anything about them besides for highlights and numbers that I look up. Do you feel, Mike, minus Jack, minus Bush, minus Spillane, minus Allen, with what we have now in our linebacker room, do you think we're any better off right now than we were last year?
I'm gonna go slightly better. I think Cole Holcomb and Miles Jack are more or less, they're interchangeable at this point. Landon Robinson is an upgrade over Devin Bush. I think anyone's an upgrade over Devin Bush at this point. Tanner Muse and Kwiatkowski, Kawasaka.
Yeah,
I keep mispronouncing his name. I can't pronounce it.
we'll be 8 games in before I get his name right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm from Western PA.
Right.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Everybody,
But
yeah. We took the time to try to pronounce every weird name in Western Pennsylvania. You'd lose your mind.
Oh my God, all the different nationalities we
Yeah.
have here. That's why everyone says, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
But no, I think but Muse and the guy we just signed, they're taking the place of
Spillane and Allen.
Spillane now. They're your special teams guys. They're your, and Mark Robinson's, hey, he's Mark Robinson again. But I think we're slightly better. I think, Cole Holcomb, before his injury, he was going to be up there again in tackles, a tackling machine, kind of like how Miles Jack was. Yeah, last year people were kind of disappointed in him. Like, he had good numbers, but overall we thought he could have done more. But I think he was covering for Devin Bush more than anything else. And that front 3 up front they weren't protecting the linebacking core as they should have. So I think that's going to improve there. That's going to help the linebackers. But I think, Holcomb, the way he was playing before he got hurt, Miles Jack, the way he played last year, I think that's a wash. Landon Robinson, he's more of a steady presence than Devin Bush, because Devin Bush, you never knew what you were getting from snap to snap. Like, every once in a while, he would flash. Like, yeah, this is why we went up and drafted him. But a lot of times, like, who are you? Landon Robinson to me is a more stable player.
Into the
And
off season, most fans thinking that we're going to pull a linebacker that, people would recognize. Bobby Wagner,
TJ Edwards,
Ed Edwards, one of these guys. And this
But
is what we got. Are you in the overall picture, we're trying to go to the playoffs. We're trying to win some games. We're trying to win a championship. Do you think that we should have took a different route, or are you okay? Are you okay with the inside linebacking core that we're heading into the season with?
well, like someone a little bit, I would prefer it if Landon Robinson would be this year's Robert Spillane,
Yeah,
because that would be the depth would be a whole hell of a lot better.
right.
But I'm okay with it. But to me, it all depends on that front three, how well they produce, how well they perform to keep the line off of the linebackers. But Landon Robinson, he's gotten better every year he's been in the league. So last year he finished up with over 100 tackles. He was flying all over the place, 4.5 sacks. The production's there. Name value might not be there, but on paper production value's there. But on this defense, I think that inside linebacker spot is the weakest link. But how weak is it though? That's the thing.
You're trying to stop. Let me ask you this. You're in. I don't have the schedule, but in front of me, let's say December. We're on a run. We're trying to make the playoffs, and we come up against the Baltimore Ravens, and over the past few years, we would put Bush. Last year, we brought Miles Jack in the place to stop and spy and keep an eye on Lamar Jackson. Robert Spillane was the guy that we used, and I got to admit he was really effective at it. He wasn't the best linebacker in the world, but he took this role and he did very well with it. Now with Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts going to play your base inside linebacker, and you got to use one of these other three guys. And again, I don't know. I never see Tanner Muse play. I never see, but is one of these guys going to be able to step up and be that guy? We need that guy. We need a spy. We need somebody who's not one of your main linebackers to play this extra position per se, because this guy brings a part of a game that most football teams ever have. It's he's a very unique talent, Lamar Jackson. So I am just curious, are we going to be able to, and this is something as basic as an interdivision game. I mean, it's, we're going to have to face this. We're going to have to face the situation twice unless Lamar does what he does and decides to sit out against us. But if he doesn't, this is my concern, because the league is getting, in a lot of places, you're getting that mobile quarterback. And it's not just Lamar Jackson. You're going to see it against Allen. You're going to see it against whoever you play. A lot of teams have this type of guy.
Yeah.
Do you think this linebacker core will be able to uphold it and hold it down against this kind of quarterback?
What individually, no. Collectively, maybe. But what I would do, and what the coaching staff might do, is okay. We have some really good safeties, athletic safeties that can hit. Would you move a Keanu Neal down into the box? Maybe because he has some speed to him. So it's going to be a combination of those, or they just say, "Eff it, you know what? We're going to make him beat him with his arm. If he beats up with his legs, we'll take that. But we want to force him into the pocket and not change anything." So if you can't, spy him, you just come up with a game plan to work around that. There's ways to do it, and
I do
be pressuring him straight up the middle. Don't force the outside rush, because that's where he beats you. You break contain, he's gone. So just
I do like the Keanu Neal idea. I think, bringing him up and letting him play some linebacker, which he's not opposed to.
Yeah.
I think might
There's
be
ways to do
be the answer, depending on what this linebacker looks like. I'm going to be curious. I'm very curious to see what this is going to turn out like.
Yeah.
With these 5 guys, it's a whole different team. It's 5 different guys than it was last year. So the linebacker core from the inside did not produce any turnovers last year. They didn't have any fumble recoveries, no phone call. It's going to be very interesting to see what these 5 guys can do.
It is, but I'm interested. I'm hopeful just by, what I've seen of them, going by highlights and just like people that have covered them their entire careers, reading what they've said. They have potential, like I'll just go real quick. Holcomb, he has 5 forced fumbles on his career. Landon Robinson has 4. Holcomb has 3 picks, so there's potential there to make splash plays. But I think a lot of it too is going to come down to how well the revamped front 3 works too. Because
I hope the front
in
three.
the 4-3 or in the 3-4, excuse me, a lot of it, yeah, you want your linebackers making plays, but you have to give them time and space, and to do that, those front 3 have to eat up space, and that's I think with the addition of the guys they got in the offseason and through the draft,
Absolutely.
I think that
they're
line's going to play a lot better, and then
Yeah.
you're going to see more production out of the inside linebacker group.
You know what? Having such a nice draft helps too, because you get that guy from what was he from?
Keanu Benton.
Benton.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Keanu's now. I'm having a hard time keeping up.
And they both play defense.
Yeah. He seems like a little bull. And Okunjobi, he's a bull. We know this.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cam's going to be Cam. But and then the linebacker, of course, Herbig. That those things help. So let's just hope that the depth can help play a part and make the defense a little bit better than what they were good last year. To be a dominant defense, it's going to probably have to carry this team for the next season or two. They're really going to have to come out. They're really going to have to show up and be that defense.
Yeah, like I said, inside linebacker is the weak link on the team, but if Cole Holcomb can play the way he has been the past couple of years, the guy's on his way to being a star middle linebacker, and I'll take that. If both these guys turn to be like, if they both these guys turn out to have like a James Ferrier type, I'll take that.
I'll take that in a minute.
I'll take that. Very stout and underrated. I will gladly take that. I don't need Ray Lewis out there. You give me a James Ferrier or a Lawrence Timmon type effort year in, year out, I'm happy.
Probably an insignificant even thing to talk about, but from the XFL team, the San Antonio Brahmas, the Steelers signed yesterday a guy named Rex Sinahara. He's a long snapper. So, they're bringing somebody in to compete at every position, I guess.
Yeah, you have to, especially long snapper. You don't want your regular.
Yeah, you don't want him thinking that he,
Who the hell is our long snapper? Last one I can remember is Greg Warren. Is he still around?
No,
I'm not trying to be funny. I just can't remember.
One other thing, Mike, and then we'll wrap things up. I just saw this morning. I did put it up on the site.
Koontz.
And if you do make it up to the division playoff game this weekend, Mike, you get a cushion, a seat cushion.
Last week you got your beer koozie. This week you get your cushion.
They give out cool things all year. You get the bobblehead the week before, the cards, the upper deck cards. There was the thunder sticks. They give away a lot of cool things. But this week, guys, I do want to say they're giving butt cushions out. So anybody who needs a butt cushion, head up to the
Everyone needs a butt cushion.
Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium for the playoff game this weekend. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, man?
TwoDumYinzers.com. Head on over there for all your needs. Two Dum Yinzers. We have more links than what's down here. We have links to everything that you can find the Two Dum Yinzers. Email addresses on there as well. Email your comments, questions, and concerns. Since Ryan told me I was rude yesterday, if you have concerns, you can email those as well. And we have the merchandise store over there as well, all at TwoDumYinzers.com.
All right, Mike. So what I'm going to do today, I changed it up just a little bit. Because the Chicago Cubs questions are either really hard right now because we've went through the basic stuff.
Yeah.
It's like who had the longest hitting streak in 1920? You know what I mean? Things like that. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. What I'm going to do, though, for a special occasion for the debut of Henry Davis yesterday, of course, I'm gonna give you a debut trivia question.
Ooh.
Simple. I'm going to keep it simple.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I am ready.
Pittsburgh Pirate debut question. In Andrew McCutchen's major league debut, did he record any hits? In Andrew McCutchen's major league baseball debut, did he record any hits? Of course, we all know that Henry Davis got a double in his very first at bat, probably about the fifth pitch of his at bat. The question is, did McCutchen record any hits in his major league debut? Go ahead and take a minute to think that over. And everybody, we are on 7 days a week, 11:30 a.m. every day, Monday through Sunday. And the show that we do every day gets uploaded over to Spotify in podcast form at 8 p.m. every day every day. You just want to listen to the show or only have the opportunity to only listen to the show, go over to Spotify and check out the brand new show every day, 7 days a week.
This is funny because I was just reading a tweet. Someone was like, yeah, he got 2 hits in here. Hey, Marte had a home run. He turned out to be a pretty good player, but just don't let, one game. And I think they said something about McCutchen, and I can't remember. And now I'm annoyed. So I'm going to go with no, McCutchen did not have any hits.
All right. Is that your final answer?
That's going to be my final answer.
All right. I'll lock you in on that. Like I said, Andrew McCutchen did not have any hits in his major league debut. So I got him locked in. All right. So the question of the day is this: did Andrew McCutchen record any hits in his major league debut game? Mike says no. He went 2 for 4, Mike. He went 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and a stolen base. And Andrew McCutchen's major league debut, let me read that to you one more time. It's kind of mind-blowing. He went 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and a stolen base. Talking about destined for greatness, huh?
Right. That's why I was thinking, it would be kind of funny, he come up, was over and had this great career.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the board right now. If you look over onto the message board, P said 2 hits, double, and a triple, probably wrong, but popped in my brain from an old ESPN episode. You know what, P? You were close. You were ridiculously close, actually, because he had 2 hits. He went 2 for 4, P, with 3 runs scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and a stolen base. So good job, guys, as always. Maybe tomorrow we'll have to go back to the Cubs for one more trivia, but I did want to switch it up today with, it being everything that's going on. So, Mike, got anything before we take off? You don't have your partner in crime there.
I don't have my partner in crime here today.
Fire any shots at.
I know, this is great. I got nothing. Derpy, enjoy the day off.
I have this.
Some of us have to show up day in, day out.
82 days to kick off, Mike. 82 days. It was just 100 days when we started this countdown. 82 days. So the Pittsburgh Steelers kick off against the San Francisco 49ers. Number 82, we could go what? Randall L., John Stallworth, Yancey Thigpen. Tons of guys that were the number 82 from Pittsburgh. Love the number 82. So
John Stallworth might be the second best receiver in Steeler history.
He was all right.
He was. What did he ever do? How many Super Bowl rings does he have? Where's his Hall of Fame jacket?
But hey, we do want to thank everybody for checking us out. We do appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope that you continue to do so. For Mike, Derpy, wherever he may be, myself, everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. And P.S. My brain